Hi.
Hey.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, happy Monday, guys. Welcome to the webinar today. Thanks for joining in today. Looks like we got quite a few people logging in right now. Quite a few logged in at the moment, as well as more logging in at the moment. Kelsey, why don't you tell people what we're supposed to do for this webinar?
What we're talking about?
No, like all the logistical stuff.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Okay, so you should have a GoToWebinar control tab. And with that, on the side, there should be a section that says questions. So type in there, let us know where you are. Most importantly, let us know that you can hear us and see us. And Whitney is back there. She's controlling all of it for us.
Say hello, Whitney.
Hi.
Hopefully you can hear. And then we're recording this too, right?
Yeah. Yep. So we'll post it on YouTube, social media, and we're going to post it on our dealer blog as well, on the dealer portal.
Hopefully you guys are joining us on our dealer portal on a regular basis. We've done a lot of improvements lately that, you know, hopefully you've seen and that you've enjoyed. The biggest one is the LMS.
Yeah. Yep. So now under trainings, you can do our sales training and technical trainings right from the dealer portal. So you no longer have to log into the second website, learn.qualsys.com. You can do it all from there.
Yeah. For those of you that have been on our webinars in the past, we talked a little bit about it. This is now fully launched, so you can go onto the dealer portal and go through all the training that you want. If you need more training, I think we've got a poll question later on to make sure that we can get people that information they need. So, but today we're going to talk about
live view and live answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to change myself to the presenter here, and then show my screen. And
there it is.
Put this in presentation mode. Play. So hopefully everyone can see that well enough. There we go. Perfect. Live view, live talk, and live answer. Whitney, do you have, you know, I guess the first thing is, are people joining in? Can everybody hear us okay? Is all the audio working?
We are good.
Okay, great. Well, as you guys are joining in today, we really want this to be interactive. We don't want you to feel like we're just up here to give a presentation and then afterwards, you know, end it. For those of you that are on that are more of a technical expertise, hopefully we'll cover some of those things for you. I think if you're a technician or an installer, there'll be some things like, how do I set these things up? That'll be useful for you. This is geared more towards sales and marketing, so we're going to focus primarily on how do I sell this? How do I present it? How do I make this a valuable thing for my existing customers? But there will be some technical nuggets for you technicians as well. But we do have technical webinars every 2 weeks as well.
Yeah. Yep. So the next one's on Monday.
Yeah. So next Monday, for you technicians and installers, if you want to join us on that as well, you'll be able to get all the details you need for these features as well as all the other features the IQ panel has. So let's dive right in. The first thing is, what is live view and live answer? Live view is basically the ability to stream your cameras to the 7-inch HD touchscreen. This is something that is tremendously exciting. We're the only panel that can do this in the alarm.com ecosystem. So having this feature is really nice. The thing for me is the HD. I've seen cameras out there that can stream to panels, but this is the first one that's in a real high resolution.
It's so clear.
Really clear, really beautiful. So it's a lot of fun to do this. You know, it's available with our 2.2 software. So if you've got an older IQ Panel 2 that hasn't been updated yet, we definitely recommend that you update to that 2.2 software, and then you'll be able to use this live view and live answer feature. Quickly wanted to show you how this works and how you would do it. So first thing you want to do is you need to enable live view. So if you go onto your alarm.com account or your customer's alarm.com account, you'll notice that there's a section here that says video. It's over on the left side there. There's a bar that says video. When you click on that, you'll see, you know, all these different options: video device info, live video, you know, save video, all this kind of stuff. And you can modify your settings of your cameras. You can improve the quality. If you have low bandwidth, you could have it stream at a lower resolution, so it can do better there. You can connect to wireless networks, things like that. But there's also a new section at the very, very bottom that says stream video to security panel screen. You can see that very at the bottom there. Okay, clicking that will allow you to see a list similar to this. So whichever cameras you already have in the system,
it'll show.
And it will show those on the list. Now, it will not show cameras that are not supported by live view.
Perfect. So that you can't get confused then in that way.
Yeah. So if you're going, hey, I've got my old pan tilt camera, how come it's not showing up in that list? It's because that one is not supported. The supported cameras are the 522, the 521, both those indoor cameras. I think all the new cameras that alarm.com has produced as well as the 721 outdoor camera and 722 outdoor camera. So
Perfect.
all those newer cameras that have been released in the past year or so all work. If you've got older cameras, this is a great opportunity to offer an upgrade.
Yeah, definitely.
Customer wants one of these things and you say, I want to be able to show it. Well, how about we upgrade your cameras to something newer that's got better resolution, that works faster, things like that. Alarm.com's made some really good improvements in their cameras in the past few years. So I know that's something a lot of customers were eager for. So as you can see here, we've got 3 cameras on this account. You've got the backyard camera, the basement camera, and the doorbell camera. Here's the model numbers here. And then all you do is check the boxes to say, I want to be able to view on the panel. Now, if there was some reason you wouldn't want that camera to be viewable on the panel, you just wouldn't check the box.
That's so easy, though.
Yeah, very easy. I mean, it's really simple. Now, if you today log into your account and you don't see that option that we showed on the previous page, this stream video to security panel screen, you need to contact your alarm.com representative because they will be able to enable that for you. Technically, live view and live answer are all in beta with alarm.com. So they are only allowing people who opt in to do that. And they may want some feedback and things like that from you. All the feedback I've gotten is that it works flawlessly. Nobody's had any problems with it.
You're using it right at your house?
Yeah, we use it all the time. I love it. In fact, we've got a camera in the basement. We've got a camera in the backyard. We've got a camera in the front yard, and we've got a camera up in the kitchen. I don't stream the camera from the kitchen to the panel. That was one of the things I just don't choose that because my panel is right there. I basically just be looking at myself. But I do the basement one. The other day, actually, we used this to call the kids up for dinner. So we went on to the panel, walked up, and I swiped over to the page, and I clicked basement camera, pressed play, and I saw the kids all there. I think Jake was playing a video game, Ellie was reading a book, and Lola was playing with Katie, and they were all just kind of playing. And so I pressed the little microphone button that's live talk. We'll talk about that in a minute. And I said, hey, kids, time for dinner. Okay, Dad.
Just sat there.
They didn't do anything. They literally just sat there. And I said, hey, kids, time for dinner. Come on up. Okay, we're coming. They were not coming.
They can't trick you anymore.
No, they can't. They can't. The days of teenagers sneaking out are gone because security systems give you notifications. The days of kids ignoring dad and mom when they say come up for dinner are gone because now I can see them. I can say, and I actually pushed the microphone and said, kids, I know you're not coming up. You say you're coming, but coming means you're moving. You have not moved from the spot since I started calling you. Stop what you're doing. You can come back to it after dinner. Please come upstairs. That's okay, funny. Dad. Like, and as they came upstairs, they're like, Dad, how'd you know? I'm like, I watched you on the camera. You can see us on the cameras. And of course, that's when it's like now they don't want to eat dinner because all they're going to do is run downstairs and play.
Right.
But it was fun. It's a fun feature that really enhanced our family's ability to stay connected and do things and things like that. It's just the ability to see. My wife is wanting to check on the kids outside. She'll go to the panel and check on them in the backyard. And then they don't, moms know this. You go to the back door and you check on your kids that way. Instantly they see mom and they go, oh, I need a snack. Happens every time. But if mom stays out of view, she can do it from the panel. She can check on them, make sure they're okay.
They don't know. She's not feeding the neighborhood anymore.
No, not anymore. So it's a really nice enhancement. So whether you're talking to a mom or you're talking to a dad or you're just talking to, people who want to stay connected inside their home. And whether it's a dog they want to look at or family members, think about all the applications here. You want to be able to see, what's going on in the basement. You certainly can see that. Let me just pull up that image. You can go see what's happening in the basement. You can see the kids playing video games. You can see what, maybe you want to put one in the office and where the computer is and make sure your kids aren't looking at things they shouldn't be looking at. Maybe you want to put a camera downstairs and make sure that they're not watching TV that they shouldn't be watching, things like that, and be able to just peek in whenever you want without disturbing them. We could always do it with our phones, right? We had that ability on our phones. Now there's that extra convenience of doing it from the panel.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. One other thing you notice is that there's a new page on the panel. We call this dynamic pagination. So if you add lights to the panel, you get a lights page, you add locks, you get a locks page. Well, now there's a new page for video cameras. And as you swipe over, you get that new little dot, and that will then give you the camera page where you can interact with it. And so all the cameras appear in a list. As soon as you check that box we showed you a minute ago on the alarm.com portal, then all the cameras appear. Magically. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to pair the cameras. You don't have to do anything other than simply check that box. And you simply touch a thumbnail to select the camera. So if I touch the kids room, I touch it there. And then if I touch the image, then it'll actually play at full screen. So go there and voila, now the kids are going to, I can see them playing.
Yeah.
Yep. So pretty nice. And this is just a simulation on a PowerPoint, but you can actually see it. The other cool thing is, and we'll talk about this
Are you talking about the app?
Yeah, the emulator. So the actual emulator of the IQ panel, if you download this to your phone, you can swipe over and you've got that same camera screen, okay? And I can press driveway, press play, and there's a little video simulating the driveway, okay? If I wanted to try the doorbell, I can get this nice, lovely person coming up to bring me cookies. So it's a nice way to simulate this. There's actually audio with it as well. You can actually hear, Kelsey saying, hey, I brought you some cookies, things like that. So this is a really great little way to emulate that experience. So if you're trying to talk to a customer about it, you're selling that customer on the concept of live view, you can say, oh, let me show you how it works, and use the emulator to show that.
So definitely download the app.
Yeah, and that's available in the App Store, and it's coming to Android soon.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, and we kind of mentioned this already, but if you have if your cameras have a microphone, you get live talk. Now you can see this 522 camera has a microphone. Let's see if I can get the reflection on it just right. There's a microphone right up here, which means, and it's actually got a speaker as well. So that thing I just mentioned where I could go downstairs and talk to the kids in the basement and say, hey, come on up. I can hear them, I can see them, I can talk to them all through this camera. And that's so awesome. You get live talk on any of those, and the cameras that are supported with those will be supported as well on the panel. And of course, if you've got the video doorbell, like the Skybell here, this is the Skybell Slim. It also works in the Skybell HD. You get live answer. So I think we've got a couple quick videos I want to quickly show. How do I do that?
Now that we've updated, I don't know.
Okay, well, we've got links to the videos at the very end, so we'll show you that. Whitney, any questions that have popped up at this point? Okay.
Ian asked, do you need to use specific cameras for live view?
Great question. Yep. In fact, I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to escape out of this presentation mode, and I'm going to go to our website just so you can see where we go. I go to qualsys.com. And when I go to the website, there is a link to the IQ Panel 2 Plus right there. You can scroll down and see Live View is right here. You can see a list of all these. List of supported video cameras include video only. I'm going to move my GoToMeeting thing. So the ADC V22, that's the outdoor camera. The ADC VC825, I don't know which one that is. I think that might be the dome camera. The VC826. So there's that as well. The 725, so all these are the brand new alarm.com cameras. And the V26, those are only for viewing. And then if they've got two-way audio, the 521 and the 522, which are the ones that look like this. So that gives you live view. So good question. Any other questions?
Yes. Joe asked, what is the app called Emulator?
That's
Great question. Yep.
So if you go to the App Store, so again, this is only Apple right now, and search IQ Panel 2, you can actually download an emulator of the panel. So this is perfect for cells. I know you already went through it, but it'll show you how to control lights, locks, thermostats, garage doors, and one of the cool things too, I think, is that when you disarm the system, it actually takes a disarm photo as well. Mm-hmm. So you're going to show everyone how that works. And then the live view is on there.
So I can do a search in the App Store for Qualsys. Okay. Do a search for Qualsys, and it comes up with the IQ Panel 2 app. I can also search for IQ Panel 2, and it'll be there. You can see I've already installed it here. But this is the emulator. That's what it looks like in the App Store. And then we're working on the version for Android. So you'll have that as well very shortly. It's nearing completion. We had to do some extra development work on the Android to make that work. But that works on both iPhone and iPad, optimized in there so that it actually looks good, it functions well. And
it's not going to require internet either, right?
No, it works as an offline app, and that's the beauty of it. So, we actually have, for those that are on Android, if you go to our website and on the homepage, in fact, let me show that as well, because there are probably some Android users that want this now. If you go to the Qualsys homepage and scroll to the very bottom, you'll see a link that says try our emulator. This brings you to the web-based emulator that was built by our very own Devin Burgess. He works here in the office. Devin, say hi.
Hello.
So Devin's here in the office. He's actually the one who built this. This is great for your support teams. This also has live view in it. So if I scroll over here, and again, this is all mouse click based, but if I scroll over here, I can see that I've got live video cameras. I can press play on the kitchen camera. There's Whitney, you know, chopping up her, whatever it is she was chopping. Potatoes, okay, and putting them in the oven, things like that. So there's, you know, there's a lot of nice little features here in this, and that would work on an Android phone. Probably won't work as elegantly as it will on the actual app, but it's at least going to help you out until that time. So
Scott has a good question about cameras.
Yeah.
He asks, what about storage for video?
That's a good question.
Storage for video, very good question. So the storage is all done cloud-based. So you won't have to worry about storage in terms of storage on the panel. It will all be cloud-based, which means that when you're ready to view a video, you would look at your old videos, the recorded videos would all be done in the cloud, and you could pull it from your phone or whatever. But if you're looking for non-recorded videos, if you're looking to stream live, you could do that from the panel or from your phone. So this is basically just live streaming.
Right.
So on the panel.
No more questions. I think we're good.
Okay, great. So again, if you got the Skybell video doorbell, you'll also get live answer. And the great thing about this is you can actually enable a doorbell notification. So someone walks up, presses that little doorbell, bing bong. You'll actually hear the doorbell ring on the panel, bing bong, and you'll see this little pop-up on there saying doorbell ringing, and you can either dismiss it and ignore it, or you can answer it. So
that's cool.
We always had this capability on our phones, right?
Right.
We didn't have it on the panel. And at my house, I have the app. I have the alarm.com app and notifications for my doorbell. My wife has it as well. My son does not. My children do not. You know, my son has an iPhone, the rest of my kids don't have them. I don't necessarily want to give them full access to the full app, but I don't always want them to walk up to the front door either and check it. So it's easier and in my mind, sometimes safer for them to answer from the panel instead of from the actual front door.
Right.
So kind of nice to be able to give, whether it's guests or whoever, to be able to have that same functionality we enjoy. And it's almost, is it an aloofness? Is it like I don't know. Like I'm almost more inclined to answer from the panel than I am to go to the actual door, because then I don't have to talk to them.
Just can end the conversation quickly.
Yeah, we're not home right now. I can pretend to not be home and be like, oh, we're out right now. Sorry, our security system's armed. We're out. We're not gonna. We can't talk right now. And it's like, then I don't have to worry about trying to talk to someone at the front door. But
I think it's just fun. It's totally different. It's new. So
technology is super fun.
Yeah,
I agree. So to enable live answer, again, go to your video device settings, and this is that first tab. Let me see if I can find that one screen. I think it was this one. So if I'm here, I click on video device info. So first thing I'd want to do is change the video device to Skybell or, you know, video doorbell camera, whatever it is, and I click on video device info. Then once I got that video device info, it brings me to this page, and under video device info, you'll see there's a couple sections. There's an indoor chime and an outdoor chime. So by checking that box, it chimes on the panel. By checking the outdoor chime, it will chime outside on the device. You'd hear the ding dong on the outside. If you do have a digital door chime, it uses different technology in there, so you want to check that box. And then you've got chime level. You can send motion notifications. So the same as you can do a motion notification, if motion detected, let me know. You could also do that on the panel. So it would say, hey, motion detected, and I could answer or you know, respond there. At my house, I only have the button push notification.
Which is right there.
Yeah, so if I press the button, that's when it would go.
Because the motion, it could be if trees were blowing, someone.
And I was getting that a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I was getting that a lot.
So it's just what you prefer.
Yeah, and it's really up to the customer. Because this is on the customer site, the customer can, you know, do whatever they like, adjust however they want. And you can see, you know, adjust the brightness of the LED, so the actual illuminated LED. Cool. You can adjust the brightness there. You can change the color. So if I wanted to change the color of my LED to be blue or, you know, something else to match,
you can do that.
Of course you're going to want Qualsa screen, so that's why you do that. But you could change that to whatever color you want. And then also the motion sensitivity. So maybe you were getting a little bit of rustling, it was too much. So I want to turn my motion sensitivity down, so it's only big motion. So I'm still getting motion, but I'm not getting motion all the time.
This is cool. You can really customize it.
Really can. And again, all of that is available right there. It all pushes automatically to the panel. So it would give you it when you make those adjustments. You're making the adjustments globally. So you're making it for your app and you're making it for the panel itself, because that experience is seamless, if that makes sense. So like we mentioned, if you want to get it, you need to contact your alarm.com representative if you don't already have it. If you log into your own account and you don't see live view and live answer, those options we shared with you, then you'll want to make sure you do that by reaching out to the alarm.com representative. Whitney, other questions that have come up?
We still have questions about storage in the cameras and the skybell and things like that.
Okay.
So
Sure.
Scott asks, how much storage are you getting in the cloud a week? Could you modify the frames per second to allow for increased storage?
Great question. Very great question. All of that is set within your camera settings and within your camera plan. So when you actually get an alarm.com account and with the camera plan added to it, you would choose the amount of storage you want. And so for example, I've got the lowest amount of storage because I never save my clips. I'm always just using it for live viewing.
Right.
But for those people who want to save their clips, want to be able to go back and review their clips, they might want extra storage. It's a better question for your alarm.com representative or even for your company. If you're an installer or a salesperson in your company, you might want to consult with your sales management team and say, hey, which plans are we selling so I know how much storage I can sell and how much video can I get in there? Video is interesting because when you record a video clip, that same video clip could take up very small amounts of storage or large amounts of storage depending on the resolution. So if you go into your settings and say, I want this to be the highest resolution possible, it's going to take more storage, okay? Which means that maybe you can only save 5 clips or 10 clips or 50 clips before it runs out of storage. Whereas smaller, lower resolution clips, you could save a lot more of them. It's all based on how much storage you have in a given month. And it will allow you to save those. And it automatically, anything that's the oldest will automatically delete unless you choose to download it. So I can actually go in, let's say there was a particular clip I really liked. I could go to my computer, download that clip to my computer, and that way it's saved on my computer forever instead of automatically deleting in the cloud. So hope that answers at least some of your questions. And again, a lot of these questions are really good questions for your alarm.com representative or the person within your organization that's managing the alarm.com account for you, because not every dealer offers the same level of plans or the same choices. I know when we worked for a dealer, one of the things that we did is we had one video plan and we didn't offer others. It wasn't that we couldn't set them up, it's that we didn't want to have to deal with the training to have to adjust them. We didn't want to have to deal with the pricing structures and things like that. We also weren't set up at the time, poorly I think, to be able to allow a customer to adjust their monthly rate because we said, well, that they're already in a contract where, we're borrowing money against these contracts, and so therefore it was challenging to be able to say, well, this rate was 45 and now it's going to be 42 or it's going to be 47 or it's going to be 50 or whatever it happens to be. So
that makes sense.
But hopefully your organization is set up so you can allow a customer, because customers probably do want the ability to say, I want to add more clips. And if they want to add more clips, why shouldn't you collect a little bit more money for that? I think it's a great idea, and it's a great business opportunity. Other questions, Whit?
Yes, Bryce has kind of a technical question.
Okay, Bryce, technical question. Let's hear it.
He says, I've noticed that the camera live view is intermittent. I get the message that the panel cannot view cameras, but live view on a mobile device shows they are fine. Is this a panel live view bug that just hasn't gotten worked out yet?
Very good question. So Bryce wants to know, there's times when the live view isn't necessarily working on the panel, but it seems to be working just fine on the phone. There's a variety of things, and this is precisely the reason why Alarm.com wants this as part of the beta program. They're helping to determine, is this because of the network in the home? Is this because of how we're able to take the live camera stream from the camera, go up to the cloud in Alarm.com servers, and then push it back down to the home and then out to the camera? Is there a glitch in there? My understanding is that once you've authenticated a camera, that it will automatically use the stream locally between the camera and the panel, and shouldn't have problems there. But if you are experiencing something like that, that's definitely a good thing to share with your Alarm.com representative and help us figure out the details there. I personally haven't had that experience. It seems that mine has worked fine. Although I did have some of those experiences on the 2.2.1s, or sorry, 2.2.1 software, or 2.2.0. And when we went to 2.2.1, those app is allowing me to see my garage doors. We've lost audio. It always happens at least once, right?
Can you hear us now? Oh, it's back.
It's back?
Good.
Okay, good.
It was
Yeah.
only a second.
So the alarm.com app allows us to, view my cameras. I can see my security system. I can, look at my image sensors. I can turn lights on and off, things like that. This allows me to control my actual system. Now I can use this to demo my system. If I was sharing this with Kelsey, I might say, hey, Kelsey, I want to share with you what I can do on my security system, and maybe you'll want to do something like this. Look, so from my house, I can, when I come home, instead of using my garage door opener in my car, I'll actually use my button here and open my garage. I can also view my live video cameras. See, look, here's my front door, and I can play this. In fact, I don't want to play that because it's going to mess up our streaming quality. Every time I do anything that takes bandwidth, I'm worried that we're going to mess up the video for you guys. So I apologize.
We're trying to make it better.
Yeah. I can see my security system.
And
so right here,
arm and disarm.
and I can arm and disarm, but I can also see Ellie's bedroom's open, Jake's bedroom's open, Katie and Lola's bedroom's, the office is open, under kitchen sink is open. So I can see that, under kitchen sink, that's where we keep our chemicals. I now know that's open. Do I need to, look at our kitchen camera and see if there's kids getting into the chemicals? Is that my wife maybe cleaning something, or the kids cleaning something? So it gives me a little bit of capability to know what's going on. This is my home, and this is what I do. And I can share those personal experiences using the alarm.com app. Now, the way that the emulator comes into play is the emulator is great for showing off what the panel can do, even if your own home panel can't do it, if that makes sense. So for example, I might say, at my house, I've got a few lights, but I don't have any locks. If you had locks, here's what it would look like. And I could swipe over to locks. It would look like this, and I could unlock my door like this, and I could show you how that works. It's not
actually doing anything. It's just a demo, though.
Right? Yeah, the emulator app of the panel allows you to show the possibilities of the panel, whereas the alarm.com app is actually allowing you to control your system. But you can also get a demo of the alarm.com app and say, hey, here's what your mobile experience is, and you can show them, here's the alarm.com app, here's your mobile experience, and when you're at home on the panel, here's what your panel and in-home experience will be like. So it gives you both. Based on the type of questions you might get with a customer or the type of presentation you're doing. Right. So good questions.
Does that make sense?
Other questions? All right, great. So we talked about the emulator, how it's available on the App Store for iOS and coming soon for Android. The other thing we want to share with you are sales videos. I'm going to take this link here, and I want to copy this because we weren't able to share the actual videos on screen. I want to copy this into our chat questions here. I want you guys to have this link, and Kelsey will send the links to this.
Yeah, we'll post it all. I'll post to social media as well. So if you follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, I'll post links.
It's not letting me
click. So I never.
Oh, you have to do so. Oh, got it.
And then do it, and then send to all.
All right, send to all.
Hopefully that worked.
Okay, there you go. So that link right there is a link to our YouTube page about the IQ Panel 2 Plus. And a bunch of the sales videos are on there. The way I like to use the sales videos is a couple ways. First off, they're great for social media.
Yep.
Put it on Facebook, post a video on Instagram, post it on, LinkedIn, things like that. Maybe it's with a nice little blurb like, hey, we can do live view for anyone who's interested, give me a call.
Yeah.
Or, our new panels, our new touchscreen panels now have the ability to answer your video doorbell from your screen, from the screen. If you're interested, call me now, something like that. It could be a nice little sales social media.
They're perfect because they're short, but they're so informative. It shows you how to do everything.
And the videos, we're talking 30 seconds to 60 seconds.
Yep.
So nice short little video vignettes. We've also got some commercials on there about the IQ Panel 2 in general, talking about the 3 different versions of the IQ Panel 2 Plus, dual SRF, Power G. And if you saw our webinar 2 weeks ago, we talked specifically about dual SRF and Power G. So hopefully those, you can refer back to that one. If you didn't join us for that webinar, the recording is on our YouTube page. But there's a lot of nice commercials on those that you can use. The other way I like to use it is in a sales presentation. So I will either pull up YouTube on my phone or in a tablet, and in a sales scenario where someone's asking about live view or I want to show it, I'll pull up one of those videos and I'll let my customer watch it. Hey, you don't want to learn about live view? Here, let me show you something real quick. And I let them have it, and I let them watch, and voila, that communicates almost everything they need to know within a 30 to 60 second, bit. And then afterwards, I can ask the question like, what'd you think about that? Which features did you think you would use the most?
Yep.
Asking those kind of questions gets the conversation going. And again, the goal in a sales scenario is to get that conversation going so the customer then wants to, engage with you and pick out the things that they want the most.
I think being able to watch those and then envision how it would work in your house.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The other way I would use it is if you're in a sales scenario where you're not able to actually talk face-to-face with the customer. Let's say you're like over the phone with the customer, or communicating via chat or email. Then these videos, just linking to these videos, hey, there's a video you should watch. Click in a link. Video can be tremendously powerful. Definitely. Let us take the videos we've used and we've built so that you can get more sales. So it's definitely useful there. Yeah. And then of course the last way is if you wanted to take these videos and put them on the panel, you could actually place them on your panel within the video tutorial section, and hopefully that would generate some more sales for you and cameras and things like that. So hopefully there's just some helpful tips. We try hard to make sure that this stuff is applicable, that this stuff is engaging, and stuff that you can use out in your everyday sales experiences, your marketing experiences. Of course, this stuff all can go on the website. We've got lots and lots of pictures and photographs that you can download from our dealer portal. So hopefully you're doing that already, and if you're not, you can reach out to us, marketing@qualsys.com. So what have we forgotten?
I feel like we've covered everything. Wait, any more questions?
No, I think we're good.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, we did have a question about the next Power G panel. People looking for updates on when the 345, 433.
Got it. So okay, a great question. So right now the IQ Panel 2 Plus with Power G and 319.5 megahertz is available. You can buy that from your distributors now. The IQ Panel 2 Plus with Power G and 345 megahertz, that works with Honeywell or 2 gig sensors, will be available very soon. Be watching for an announcement this week about that. And then the IQ, sorry, that's this one, the silver one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's this one. This is the next one coming out. And then this is the IQ Panel 2 Plus with Power G and 433, which is good for TSC sensors. So watch for an announcement this week about this particular panel.
Yeah, we're excited.
In fact, the announcement's tomorrow. We'll just tell you right now. You'll see it in your email.
All of our secrets on the website.
We'll just tell you there is an announcement. There's a press release going out tomorrow about this panel.
They say webinars aren't fun.
Well, we'll see. And Whitney, any other questions?
Let's see. Does LiveView work without an active internet connection?
Wow, that's a great question.
Yeah, it is.
Great question. What do you think, Kelsey?
I don't want to give the wrong answer.
The answer is no. If you don't have an internet connection, the first thing is your cameras aren't going to work. Your cameras are connected to your Wi-Fi. They're connecting, so you could connect a camera to the local network, but if, let's say you had a router. So the way it works is a wireless router inside a home. You connect the panel, the cameras, things like that, all to that wireless router. That wireless router also gets internet from your modem or wherever your internet's coming in. So the internet coming into this wireless router then is wirelessly communicating with all your wireless internet devices using Wi-Fi. And that then needs to have internet in order to send it up to the mobile app, in order to send it to the cloud, things like that. If, for example, you unplug your modem and this is now still working, these devices are still connected to this box, but there's no cloud connection, there's no internet here. What would happen is these are looking for that cloud connection to authenticate that they're still an active account, that they're still working. This would use LTE to communicate because it has dual paths, so it would still be able to communicate there, but because it's only connecting locally, it needs that authentication from the camera to say, I'm still a good camera, I'm still active, I'm still working, I'm still part of a camera plan to do that. So if you don't have internet in the home, these cameras will no longer be able to authenticate and will then no longer work. So that's my understanding from alarm.com. Again, that's an alarm.com question, and that's my understanding of how it works. This needs that authentication and that associated camera plan in order to function. But it only needs that momentarily, because then from that point, all of the streaming then becomes locally. So once it authenticates, it then can save bandwidth and speed and and do all its viewing locally.
Is that through the access point? The panel
it could be.
Different. Okay.
Really good question, Kelsey. So the panel, for those of you that know, the panel has what's called a built-in access point, kind of like a hotspot on your phone, right? Where if, let's say that this video doorbell, so let's say, well, we'll pretend that your phone is our router, okay? And our router's over here, okay? And this video camera is over here, up on the wall in the living room.
Yep.
This camera goes to the router and, gets there just fine. The Skybell way over here is too far away from the router and doesn't have good signal.
Okay.
And you can see how much signal it is by logging onto your alarm.com account and making sure it is. So one thing that a lot of salespeople will say is, oh, it looks like your front door is so far away from your router. You might even ask them, hey, where is your home router placed? Okay, well, it looks like we might be able to do it, make that work. What happens is this Skybell being so far away from the panel, from the router, doesn't get the signal it needs so that it can, broadcast the way it needs to. So the panel will act almost like a Wi-Fi range extender.
Yep.
Because the panel's closer and it has the range here, and it's also closer to here, it can, in some cases, help your network without having to place an extra costly Wi-Fi range extender. So whereas you might have had to place, a $100 device in there to make all this work, now you can use the panel as the bridge between it. But if it's over here and the panel is farther away from the camera than the router is, there's no sense in pairing things to that because it's going to go faster if you pair to the router directly.
So it'll just be, again, circumstantial.
And that's probably more technical than we wanted to get on today's webinar. This is supposed to be for sales and marketing, but hopefully that makes sense for some of you. And
I learned something.
Yeah, I mean, when you walk into a customer's home, you want to feel like you're an authority, right?
Yeah.
You want to feel like I know a little bit about wireless networking. I know a little bit about how this stuff works so that I can speak with, with confidence.
Definitely.
So, very good question.
We have a couple more. Jacob asked, what's the distance limit for wireless signal?
Distance limit for wireless signals. Really good question. It really depends on your network. It depends on your router. If you've got a really crazy, awesome Netgear Nighthawk with like 6 different antennas and crazy stuff, your network's going to be huge. If you've got a bunch of range extenders out everywhere, your network's going to be huge, and that distance is really only measured by that. If you're in a customer's home and they don't have any internet, and the only thing they have is their phone, and they're like, I'm gonna use my phone's hotspot, can I just use that for all my cameras? Your range is wherever the phone is able to broadcast. It's really more about this phone or the router or whatever's ability to broadcast signals to the devices it's reaching to, okay? Think of it as like a person standing in a room or standing in a field yelling. If I've got really good pipes, I can yell super loud. You could be really far away and still hear me. If you've got laryngitis and you're standing in there in the field yelling, I might only be a few feet away before I can hear you. So it really depends on your router's ability to yell, your router's ability to broadcast that network. That's going to determine the size.
I feel like.
Yeah, hopefully that helps.
Okay, and then Eric, I think this is our last one so far. Eric asks, is there any advantage to having an SVR running video with LiveView?
Great question. So an SVR is basically like, think of a DVR for TV, but an SVR records video. So in the event that you want to record all of your clips, let's say that you want to be able to go back in time and say, hey, I want to look at what happened, when my door opened 3 Tuesdays ago at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I want to see that video clip. You can go into your SVR and look back in time, and I think it stores 30 days, or I think there's different SVRs that record different buckets of time. So it'll actually go back in time, and you can say, go to that event, and I want to watch that video clip. And so it allows you to store all of the video clips. Now, the drawback is on SVRs, and one of the reasons people don't like them is because you're literally spending your time just going through all of these streams. Back in the day when people had camera DVRs, they're just like, well, can you just go back and watch all 17,000 hours of footage to find that one thing to see if there was anything unusual? And it may or may not have been effective. And especially if you don't know when it was, you're like, well, my couch is missing. I don't know when it disappeared. Let's go watch a week's worth of video because we've been gone for a week to find out when it disappeared. So it can be challenging. That's why alarm.com with their SVR made it tied in event alerts. So door opened, motion detected, things like that. Those things are triggers on the account to make it easy to find those things so that you can then say, oh, well, I know it was within this time frame and I know it was based on this particular event. Let me try that one, and I can look at those clips and try and see it. So, yes, I think there's absolutely advantages to having an SVR on an account where if I want to just go live view, I can do this. But then if I want to go back and look at recorded clips and look at event-based clips, I go to my computer, log in, find the date and time, and I can do that. So absolutely, it's a fantastic question. Thank you for asking it.
Okay, I think we are good.
All right,
Perfect.
guys, thank you so much. Whitney, I feel like these guys deserve something.
You do?
We haven't done a raffle in a while.
We haven't done one in a while. I think we should.
I feel like Devin should pick the number.
Devin? Since Devin, come up here.
Better you than me.
Devin built the emulator for us and on the website. So Devin, thank you for doing that. Everybody give Devin a big round of applause.
How's it going?
So Devin, I need you to give me a number between 1 and 100.
1 and 100?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with 47.
47. Melinda Barron. Melinda Barron, if you're on, congratulations. Yes. You just won. What should we give her?
Yeah, you didn't even see what the prize is.
You know, we're gonna give you a prize pack.
Okay.
Melinda, tell Whitney, chime in right now. You know, we want to make sure you're actually there. Chime in right now what your shirt size is and things like that. We're gonna give you a prize pack with a bunch of.
I think that's good.
Yeah, let's do a couple more.
I was gonna say, I feel like we should do more.
23.
Michael Jordan.
I don't think he's on today.
No? Freddie Amarell. I hope I said that all right. Freddie Amarell. Congratulations, Freddie. Prize pack.
Chat Whitney again.
Yep. Send a message into Whitney. Let her know what size you got. Okay. And one more.
72.
72. Tiffany Nolan. Two ladies in there. Nice.
Hey.
Well, congratulations, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Chat in. Let us know what size you have, what size you take, and we'll make sure that you get a little something in a prize pack, and Kelsey will send those out.
Yep.
I do have a couple polls I want to do real quick. Whitney, can you launch that? Oh, never mind. I can do that.
Get it.
I do want to know if you are currently offering Alarm.com cameras as part of your offer, and that's a yes, a no, or a we didn't before, but we're going to start. Hopefully, I'm just curious to know if this particular, thing, maybe you weren't offering Alarm.com cameras, but after watching this, it makes you want to start doing it. I'm guessing most people probably are already offering Alarm.com cameras as part of their repertoire, but I guess we'll find out here in a moment. And it looks like the majority are. There's still a percentage that are going to start. That's great.
But hopefully the 10% this encouraged them to start.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. All right, and then that poll, we're almost, I want to get all the way up to the 80% if we can. So keep voting there for a second there, guys. And then, all right, we're good. And then I've got one more poll question for you. And this is more just to make sure that you are, you got everything you need. We do these webinars to make sure that you've got some good information and things like that. But there's also probably quite a few people that this is their first time on a Qualsys webinar, and maybe they were hoping to get a little bit more generic information out of this, things like that. We don't want you guys to feel left out. So we want to know if you feel fully trained on Qualsys products. That answer is yes, or no, you need sales training, no, you need technical training, or maybe you're still evaluating Qualsys and you'll let us know. This list right here specifically, Kelsey, you've been using when someone says no, they need sales training or no, they need technical training, you're reaching out to those individuals and helping make sure they understand how to get on our LMS, pointing them to other webinars that we've done and things like that, right?
Yeah,
so
this has been super helpful for
really,
us.
Yeah, really good for us to understand how we can best support you, because that's absolutely what we want to do. We want to make sure that we support you. 100%.
And again, we're doing a technical training next week. So on top of the technical LMS, definitely join that webinar.
I'll send the link again.
For next week's, yeah. So Whitney's going to put in the chat the link for next week's technical training. So if you want to go ahead and register right now, you can. We actually haven't advertised that yet. I think the email goes out either tomorrow or the next day for that. But for those people that want to join that right now, we can make sure that you register for it right away. And then I've got one more poll. I just want to know quickly if you're currently installing Qualsys products, and that's a yes or a not yet. Notice there's not a no option on here, Kelsey.
That's right.
Eventually, they will all install Qualsys products.
Uh-huh.
And it's not arrogance. It's just the natural course of things.
Well, you've had.
It's like asking, when are you gonna, do you have a smartphone? Yes or not yet. You'll get one eventually.
Yep, you're gonna upgrade.
Yeah. And the main thing for this is just us understanding who, where you're at in the sales process, where you're at in the buying process. If you want more support, things like that. Our goal is to give you as much support as possible.
That's right.
Our goal is to help you get the things you need and to be successful. And guys, don't limit yourself by simply the information that you get on these webinars. If you are wanting more information, you want some help, you want some, custom branding, maybe for some of your sales materials, reach out to us, marketing@qualsys.com. We are here and ready to help you guys roll out some of your things, to get your sales teams trained, to get your product teams understanding what we do. The goal here is to support you as much as possible. So
Right.
hopefully you feel supported, and if there's more things that we can do for you, we certainly want to know. We'll go ahead and close that poll.
Okay.
Again, thanks for joining us.
Yes, this
Kelsey.
was fun.
It was.
I learned a lot.
Yeah, hopefully this is, and again, this webinar has been recorded,
Yeah.
and we'll be posting this up on our YouTube page later on today. And then tomorrow you'll get a follow-up email, and that will include a link to this as well as a few other things as
Yeah,
well.
definitely.
Thanks,
Have a good
everyone.
week. We'll see you all later.
We're going to stay on for just a minute or two to make sure all the questions are answered, but thank you very much for joining today.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and turn the cameras off and the microphone off, but Whitney will continue answering your questions. So if you're still interacting with Whitney and chatting with Whitney right now, she'll continue to answer those questions until we're all the way done. But thanks very much for joining today.